Welcome back to this Pacifist in Oblivion, who has been meditating since the last episode, and to do this properly he has even in fact gone to his wizard tower and to the very top of that wizard tower to have sort of an overview of Cyrodiil and meditate, and while enjoying the breathtaking view from up here. Basically, he's been brooding on what he's read and come up basically with a decision, because what he'd read about Pelennor and the others, in a way, was some of it was heartening, because it seems Pelennor Whitestreak was not this great paragon that you have to emulate or something. On the contrary, he seemed very much a man with flaws, and it may be that rather than having to emulate his example, it's perhaps more pertinent to be thinking of the actual relics themselves, which I believe are supposed to have been made by the gods, and maybe Pelennor didn't necessarily use them in the very best way possible. So basically he's decided to try and go after one of these relics, and he also needs to go to a city, basically, because he needs to go somewhere where he can sell off some of his wolf pelts and so on, because of his what's developing into a sort of wolf hunting industry on his part, basically. And the only two relics who are apparently in the city are the Gauntlets of the Crusader in Chorrol, and then possibly the mace in Leowyn. But the mace, the weapon, is not the first thing that this pacifist is going to be going after, obviously. So instead it's going to be the gauntlets in Chorrol. Now, one of the things about this mage tower of his is that it's actually got portals, travel portals to all the mages guilds in Cyrodiil, including Chorrol. So let's get onto this magic portal and move to Chorrol. I think nothing goods and trade. That I think sort of general trader. Alright, I might be able to sell off my wolf pelts. In fact, I think that's the one where the Orgonian showed up and said invited me to the shop, basically. So let's see. Here we are.
I don't mean to impose, but I'm hoping you can help me. My daughter, Dharma, is missing, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm really trying to fix some other stuff right now, but I'm definitely interested in knowing more about this.
That's right. My daughter, Dharma, never came back from Hackdirt. I'm dreadfully worried something may have happened to her. Can you help?
Okay, I'll try. I'll do my best.
I can't thank you enough for your kindness. She was supposed to make a delivery to a Tira Moslin in Hackdirt. In case it may be useful, she was with Blossom, her horse, I mean.
Okay. So what can you tell me about this place, Hackdirt?
A rather isolated village south of Chorrol. Normally I make the deliveries, but I wasn't feeling well, so Dharma insisted on going this time.
Okay, I'll look into it, definitely. But first,
may I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Actually, I was hoping to interest you in some of mine, some of these wolf pelts I picked up. Can I haggle with you? No need, basically. You're giving me decent prices.
And excellent.
Right, is there anything else I need to sell? I don't want to sell the other ball art. I should have left that, and perhaps Shazar and the Divines as well. Actually, Shazar and the Divines, that wasn't very interesting to sell that. The Audible R has just some other interesting information in it.
I appreciate your business.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Pay attention,
Train?
and you can learn a lot.
Oh yeah, you train mercantile. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, just the Audible R. There was one interesting piece about the Audible R, really, that I didn't really comment on earlier on, and that's basically the horrible stories it tells about the Aelids when they had slaves. Where men, slave men, were given over to the lifting of stones and the draining of the fields. Well, that's what slaves do. Upkeep of temple, alright, yes. Or road, yeah, alright. Manual labour, no shocks there. But then also to become art tortures for strange pleasures, as in the wailing wheels of Vindasal on the gut gardens of the Cercen, and flesh sculpture, which was everywhere among the slaves of the Aelids in those days. Or worse, in the realms of the Viking Hadul, where the begetting of drugs drawn from the mixture of Vedans into the living host that will inhale new visions of torment, and children will set aflame for nighttime tiger sport. So basically, it tells me that these Aelids were completely loony. He's feeling a bit less of an high elven, any kind of high elven kinship with them right now. Okay, so anyway, hack dirt, which was what you talked about. That's down here. That's not far from Chorrol at all, so I'll definitely look into that. I'm just going to check out the chapel first. Where is that quest? The Prayer of Enlightenment Wisdom, Nature's Fury, Path of Righteous, Stendarr's Mercy, yeah. Just to see what I can find out about these gauntlets.
On an old war veteran.
So, go to the Great Chapel of Stendarr in Chorrol. Here we are.
Yes? What brings you here, my son?
Looking into this business of the gauntlets, for one thing.
Ah, yes. The Gauntlets have been here for ages. My only real involvement with them these days is keeping the youngsters from hurting themselves. What is your interest in them? Yes, well, I don't know the whole thing. A great many years ago, a knight of the Old Order did something terrible. They dropped to the floor right where he stood, and no one could lift them. That curse still lingers on today, in fact. Poor Kellan.
Kellan?
Oh, why, he's a descendant of that very knight from so long ago. He came here from Hammerfell seeking a cure, but, well, there's really nothing that can be done for him, I think. He may know more of the story than I.
Okay, so I can talk to Kellan.
It's a horrible thing, truly. One cannot help but pity those such as Kellan, who have such a burden placed on them. But if it is the will of the Nine...
What's your opinion on this prophet, anyway?
The Church has taken no official position on his teaching yet.
Okay, so you're right.
You
I
too.
see. Let's go talk to this Kellan guy first. Forgot to tell me where he is.
Knight Commander. The gauntlets, eh?
Rilder's responsibility, but he says he could...
Welcome! He's down in the chapel hall, resting.
Right, down the chapel hall, resting. Fine.
Take care.
I'll mosey down to the chapel hall. See if I find him and see what's up with this stuff. Yeah, the quest that tells me that I've written in my journal I should talk to Kellan, so I'll do that. If I can find him. Where is he? Okay, some stairs down, round about here. Maybe behind this door.
How are you?
Oh yes. I'm fine, thank you. And you are Kellan, are you?
What is it? Is there a cure?
Not that I know of. What do you know about this curse, anyway?
Ah, so you've heard it, have you? Terrible curse. Been in the family all... When I was younger, I could live with it. I'd come here, to the place it all happened. Our elder has let me stay.
Okay, so... You're staying... What do you know about these gauntlets, anyway?
You've seen them, I assume. Do you know that I thought perhaps I could lift them? That somehow this curse would be lifted if I could pick them up? I tried for hours, until my whole body ached, and I could barely move. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Well, what'd you do then on the gauntlets? Or what?
I don't know why they're still here. They're so heavy, and I'm so weak. I've seen plenty of pity in people's eyes over the years. I grew up recognizing it. But with Arelder, there's something else there. And when he speaks to me, there are times I'd swear he sounds apologetic. What reason does he have to hold back information? Speak to him if you can.
Okay, I'm supposed to talk to Arelder again. Because he may be withholding information. Okay. Okay. Let me just get back to it. And so let me just ready my mesmerizing grasp spell to make him perhaps like
Good to see you. Welcome, Knight Commander.
So, do you know anything more about Kellen?
I cannot face him. I know what might be done for him, but I haven't the will to do it.
Okay.
I wish I could help him. Truly I do.
What are you talking about?
The curse. I know what would lift it. The only way to free Kellen of his curse is to take it on myself. I fail Kellen every time I speak to him. Do you know one who would do such a thing?
Well, if you don't want to, the obvious thing would be for me to try and do it, I guess?
I've told you. The only way to lift the curse from Kellen is to pray to Stendarr. But that means taking the curse on yourself.
To pray to Stendarr, eh?
The Gauntlets have been here far longer than any of us. They'll almost certainly be here long after we're all gone. Bye.
I see. So I'm supposed to pray to Stendarr. Do you wish to pray to Stendarr for the power to lift Kellen's curse? And take it on myself, I guess. No choice, really. I've prayed at the altar in chapel, and I've been granted the ability to lay hands on Kellen. I need to see him at once. Ooh, is that cool or what? So, let's move on. Kellen. Oh, it's not in here. It was down. What was it? In here?
Well met.
Right.
Come back to see the doomed man.
Yeah, in a sort of a manner of speaking.
Good day.
I've lifted the curse from Kellen, which means taking it on myself. As a result, I'm weary and my fatigue has been affected.
How did you? I feel good. I don't feel like death.
He feels like running, does he? Through doors even. That's amazing. Okay.
Look at me.
I'm looking. That was fun. I didn't. Okay. Let's just see how badly my fatigue has been affected. Okay. Damage fatigue for 5 points. Okay, so my fatigue has dropped to 168. And used to be 173, I guess. Yeah, how tired you are. Low fatigue hurts your effectiveness, especially while doing melee attacks. So I'm even less good at doing melee attacks now. Well, should try and avoid doing attacks anyway, so that's perfectly okay, really.
Hi there.
Yeah. Maybe I can talk to... I've got a... Let's just... Your afflictions have been banished. Yeah, the curse is still there, obviously. Altar... I'm thinking I want to pray a bit more, actually, to Stendarr. Debella... That's the Altar of Stendarr. It would be there at the end, I guess. Blessings of Stendarr. And Stendarr gives me... Fortify Endurance. Which brings my fatigue back up again. Well, that doesn't last forever, obviously, but...
Greetings, High.
Okay, so anyway, my journal now is... I'm wearing my fatigue has been infected with the curse lifted. I can now retrieve the Gauntlets of the Crusader. Oh, well, well. I just want to save before that, just in case. I'm still worried that I may not be able to carry them if they're so heavy. I recovered the Gauntlets of the Crusader. Should continue to search for the relics that the other ghost knights were questing for. They don't seem so heavy at all, basically. No, they weigh 1 pound! Is that the... Oh well. Okay, so if I put on the gauntlets, do I get some kind of power? Yeah, merciful... Oh! Found merciful touch. That looks like a restoration spell. Yeah, restore health on touch. Why, that is the kind of power I like. A holy relic that lets me heal others. Yeah, that's in a pacifistic spirit, don't you think? Because, yeah. I mean, theoretically I could use them to punch people with as well, I guess, but I can use them to lay hands on others and heal them. That's cool. I wonder just 50 points on touch. But it's a lesser power, which means I can cast... Oh, hang on. Yeah, for 25 points. And it's a lesser power, that means I can cast it quite often, actually. Yeah. I like that. I definitely like that. Okay, cool. So I've got the gauntlets now. And sure, I could go return them to the priory.
Good evening.
But, since my dealings here... I've got a new topic. I've heard somebody talking, apparently, about the Reynolds.
I can't believe you were willing to do that for Kellen. To sacrifice your own well-being with... What business do I have acting as a priest if I'm not willing to do all I can in helping those who need it? Perhaps I need to rethink my calling.
That's a noble thought of you.
Please, leave me be.
Okay, I just wondered about this Reynald Germain that I heard a rumor about.
Yes, it's quite odd. Reynald, who I've bumped into several times in Chorrol, acted like I was a complete stranger. Also, he seemed sober, which is a refreshing change. Usually, Reynald is stumbling around Chorrol, drunk as can be. Very odd. But then, it's really none of my business.
Very interesting. And I've got a quest now called Separated at Birth. Right, okay, I'll think about that, but, that's gonna be for another episode, just like returning the gauntlets. For now, I'm happy with this episode, and the next thing that I'm gonna be doing is, looking into this hacked it and this missing person issue, because, yeah, it's a chance to do a good deed, I guess, or something, possibly, I hope, and definitely, not something that should be put off, like, indefinitely. Considering that the missing daughter may have been subjected to something bad, I guess. Time may be of the essence. So, but that's going to be for another episode. So, for now, go in peace, and I'll see you later, I hope.